Let's start from the beginning. Back in 1995, the Royal Mint made this special £1 coin as part of a series showing the four nations of the United Kingdom. That year, it was Wales's turn, and so the coin proudly displayed a dragon, the national symbol of Wales. The design was made by Norman Silman, and the dragon is shown walking proudly to the left. On the edge of the coin are Welsh words Pleidiol Wif I'm Gwla with circumflex D, which means, true am I to my country. On the other side, you see Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclauff. The coin is made from nickel brass, weighs 9.5 grams, and has a diameter of 22.5 millimeters. It's round, shiny, and feels solid in the hand. Now, here's the interesting part: more than 34 million of these coins were made in 1995, which sounds like a lot. So how can it be rare? Well, most of those coins were used in everyday life, be they were spent, dropped, scratched, and worn down. Over the years, people stopped keeping them in good condition. Then, in 2017, the round pound coins were taken out of circulation and replaced by the new 12-sided £1 coin. That means the 1995 dragon coin is no longer used as money in shops. Because of that, collectors now look for these coins in good condition, especially uncirculated or proof versions. A proof coin is one made especially for collectors. It's struck using polished dies, so it looks shiny and detailed. The Royal Mint made a few special versions in silver and a thicker version called a Piedfort, which is double the thickness and heavier than normal. Only about 8,000 of those silver Piedfort coins exist. That's where the real rarity comes in. While the normal coin might be worth just a few pounds, these special editions can be worth £40, £50, £100, or sometimes even more, depending on their condition and packaging. You might have seen posts online claiming that the 1995 £1 coin is worth £10,000 or even £100,000. Those posts get a lot of attention after all. Who doesn't want to find a tiny treasure? But let's be real. The normal version of the 1995 £1 Welsh Dragon coin isn't selling for those massive amounts. Most are worth between £1 and £5 if used, and maybe up to £20 if they're in mint condition. The high prices online often come from sellers hoping to get lucky, but collectors usually pay based on real market value, not hype. Still, there are a few things that can make your coin more valuable. Condition is everything. If your coin is shiny, has no scratches, no dirt, and looks like it just left the mint, it's worth much more than one that's dull and worn. Also, check for any mistakes or minting errors. Sometimes a coin is made with the wrong edge design, a missing inscription, or even a misstrike, for example, if the picture is slightly off-center. These rare errors can catch collectors' eyes and push the value much higher. You can also look out for fake or counterfeit coins. During the years before the round £1 coins were withdrawn, a lot of fake ones were made. Some are very close to real ones, but the edges, color, or lettering might look slightly wrong. If your coin feels too light or too heavy, or the dragon design looks fuzzy, it might not be genuine. A real coin should weigh about 9.5 grams. If you have what you believe is a rare or perfect coin, it's a good idea to get it checked by an expert or a grading service. A graded coin comes with a sealed case and a certificate showing its quality, and that can boost its value for collectors. Even if your coin turns out not to be worth thousands, you'll at least know exactly what you've got. Now let's talk about the excitement around coins like this. Part of the magic isn't just the money, it's the history. The 1995 Welsh Dragon coin isn't just a coin, it's a small piece of British heritage. It carries the pride of Wales and a time when each UK nation was honoured on its own pound coin. And because round pounds aren't used anymore, holding one feels like holding a piece of the past. Every scratch, every shine tells a story. Collectors love the thrill of the hunt. They look through jars, car seats, and pockets, dreaming of finding that one rare coin. Some coins have sold for huge sums, but usually because of a unique error or a very limited edition. That's why the 1995 Welsh Dragon still draws attention, It's beautiful, iconic, and tied to a time that's gone. So, if you're watching this and you've got a few old coins lying around, grab them and take a look. If you see a dragon walking proudly on one side, check the date 1995. Look closely at the edges, the shine, the details. Maybe you have the regular version, maybe the silver proof, or maybe just maybe a rare mint error that no one has noticed yet. Think about it, you could be sitting on something collectors would pay real money for. Even if it's only £20, that's 20 times its face value, and if it's a special proof edition, that number could climb much higher. But the best part? The joy of discovering history in your hands. This coin links you to Wales, to the United Kingdom's coinage history, and to millions of stories from the 1990s. Every time you look at that dragon, remember that it stood for pride, power, and identity. Many people collect coins not just for profit, but for passion. They love learning the stories behind each design, each change, each special edition. And the 1995 Welsh Dragon Pound coin has one of the most beloved designs in British coin history. It's bold, it's national, and it's unforgettable. So yes, while the normal coin might not make you a millionaire, it can still give you something priceless: curiosity, excitement, and a bit of hope. Because the truth is, treasure hunting doesn't always mean gold bars or chests full of jewels. Sometimes, it's a little round coin sitting quietly in your drawer, waiting for you to notice its worth. So next time you come across an old £1 coin, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, especially if you see that Welsh dragon breathing fire from your palm. You might not be holding £100,000, but you could still be holding a rare piece of British history worth far more than you think. And who knows? One day, if collector demand grows or a rare version is discovered, this humble 1995 dragon coin could become one of the great treasures of the coin world. Most people think it's just another dollar, but a few lucky ones have discovered that special versions of this coin could be worth $125,000, $143,000, or even $188,000. It sounds crazy, right? But that's the thrill of coin collecting. Sometimes a tiny minting mistake or a perfect coin can change everything. That's true. So let's talk about why this coin is special, what makes them worth huge money, and how you can check if yours is one of those rare treasures. The Susan B. Anthony dollar first appeared in 1979. It was the first U.S. coin to show a real woman instead of the usual Lady Liberty. The coin honored Susan B. Anthony, a famous women's rights leader. The U.S. Mint made these coins to replace the old large silver dollars that were heavy and hard to carry. The new dollar coin was smaller, lighter, and made mostly of copper and nickel instead of silver. There were three main mint locations that made these coins: that year Philadelphia, marked with a P, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. So in 1979 D means it was made in Denver. Now, here's the thing: there were over 288 million of these 1979 D coins made. That's a huge number. So most of them are very common and only worth $1 because of its high quality. But a few special ones have become legends among collectors because of rare minting mistakes or perfect condition. These are the coins that make headlines and go for crazy amounts at auctions. When people talk about a 1979 D being worth six figures, they're usually talking about an error coin. That means something went wrong when it was made. For example, sometimes a coin is struck on the wrong metal blank. Imagine if a Susan B. Anthony dollar was accidentally printed on a planchet meant for a quarter or a foreign coin. That kind of mistake makes it one of a kind, and collectors will pay huge money for it. There have been cases of $1,979 with these errors selling for over $10,000 or even more. Another kind of error is called an off-center strike, when part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't lined up right. Some of those coins can sell for hundreds or thousands depending on how dramatic the mistake looks. One of the most famous examples from this coin family was a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar that was struck on top of a 1978 quarter. 1932 it sold for about $14,000 at auction. But in 1983, that wasn't even a Denver Mint coin, it was from Philadelphia, but it shows how wild the values can get when a true error appears. If something like that ever turned up on a 1979 D coin, the price could easily skyrocket, maybe even into the six-figure range if it was the only one known. Now, how can you tell if you might sometimes a coin doesn't have a major error but is just in unbelievably perfect condition. If the coin looks coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, where MS70 means mint state perfection, with no scratches, no marks, nowhere at all. Check for most coins from your change will be heavily worn, but uncirculated coins straight from mint sets can grade very high. Your coin a 1979 D graded at MS68 once sold for about $1,500. If a perfect MS69 or MS70 example were ever found, it could break records because collectors love perfect coins. There are also varieties, which are small design differences that happened when the dies were made. For example, the 1979 P dollar has a wide rim or near-date version that's much rarer than the normal one. Sadly, the Denver version, the 1979 D, doesn't have a famous variety like that. So if you have a 1979 D, its value really depends on condition or a rare minting mistake. If you have one of these coins, the first step is to check it carefully. You should see a small D mint mark just above Susan B. Anthony's shoulder. Look for anything strange about the coin, odd colors, weird shapes, missing parts, or parts of another coin showing through. Those are clues it could be an error coin. Next, check the surface. Is it shiny like a mirror, with no scratches? Does it look like it just came out of the mint? The answer is simple. If so, it might be in mint state condition and worth getting graded. You can send coins to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it, give it an official grade, and seal it in a protective holder. That grading makes it easier to sell and proves it's genuine. But before you get too excited, it's important to know that most of these coins are not worth huge money. Most are only worth $1, maybe $2 or $3 if uncirculated. Even beautiful ones might go for $10 or $20. The coins worth thousands or more are the true rarities, the ones with major minting errors or flawless condition. Many online posts and social media videos claim these coins are automatically worth hundreds of thousands, but that's not true for most of them. Those big numbers come from extremely rare examples that hardly anyone has ever seen. That doesn't mean you shouldn't look, though. That's because the thrill of finding one of those rare mistakes is real. Imagine buying a roll of Susan B. Anthony dollars at a coin shop or finding one in your old change jar and realizing you're holding something no one else has. Take a close look at That's the dream of every collector. And if the right buyer comes along, your $1 coin could become your ticket to a life-changing moment. Too good to be true. To keep your coin safe, don't clean it. Cleaning can actually lower its value because it scratches the surface. Just handle it carefully by the edges and store it in a plastic holder or small bag until you know more. If you think it might be special, show it to a coin expert or send it for grading. You can even compare it to online images of known error coins to see if anything matches.